Today's show is sponsored in part by RaceDeck. Over 2 decades ago, RaceDeck was invented, a cost-effective, durable, and truly do-it-yourself modular flooring system engineered for the garage. RaceDeck is the original modular flooring system engineered for the garage with over 33 patents and proudly made in the USA. Installs in just hours without toxic epoxy or adhesive mess. It's a snap. RaceDeck is engineered to be a true DIY garage flooring system. In as little as 2 hours, you can transform your garage into the coolest garage on the block. Did I mention it can handle rolling loads in excess of 80,000 pounds, will not chip, peel, or stain, and it's in my hangar at Santa Monica Airport, and I do little snow RaceDeck angels on it all the time. Shop at racedeck.com and use promo code SPIKE911 for an exclusive 15% off and free shipping. That's SPIKE911, 15% off free shipping at racedeck.com. Let's start the show.
Spike's Car Radio starts now.
Little Brit Pop, because we have a special guest with us today. Oh, listen to this. Let me turn you up, Johnny. Hold on. There you go.
It's good to be here. Thanks for calling me a special guest. That's nice.
You're not the special guest. Sam from Seen Through Glasses here.
I don't know if I'm a special guest or like a bad smell. I just... Or it's that, what do they get on SNL when they host like 5 times? When do I get my red jacket?
The 5-Timers Club.
Yeah, I'm nearly there.
Yeah?
This is your 3rd time.
3rd time, unbelievably.
Oh.
Thank you. Wow, I feel honored.
That's just everybody's level.
You know, after my 3rd or 4th, 5th time, maybe they just jumped me in. I'm part of the furniture. You know,
is that true? Were you a special guest? I've told the story many times. The first time I saw you loping into the back of the Spanish Bay at Pebble Beach Car Week, and I went, "Oh, that's that guy Johnny Lieberman, the overcoat and the weird beard." And you kind of looked over like this, and it was kind of like a Sasquatch.
He stepped out of the woods.
We said hi, but I made a mental note: stay away from that guy. He looks dangerous. I'm not lying.
Oh, I believe you. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah.
Yeah. And now look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're a spoke on the Spike's Car Radio Week.
That's right.
Just like you, Sam. Zuckerman is I don't know if we mentioned this. He's in Berlin.
Yeah.
Nazi hunting.
Kyle. Wow.
He went there by himself.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. I got nobody. I'm staying in the Soho house, and I'm going to look at Berlin, see if I can find any old nuts. I said, okay, I think they're all dead at this point, but, and I haven't heard from him since he went.
I still get disgusting, he sent me one. There was a guy dressed as a bird, climbed in a tree, and is pooping on people.
He sent you that?
Yeah, that's what he doesn't say hi. He
just sends you photos of pooping.
Yeah, he's been sending me the occasional animal video, but that was it. But this morning I was sitting at my computer, and instead of working, I thought, why don't I go to Udio? And why don't I write a little song about Zuckerman,
the Nazi hunter,
in Berlin, the Nazi hunter, and I'm going to play it for you. I'm really excited about this.
This is the world debut.
This is the world debut. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here you go. Listen to this. Let me make sure I got the phone up so I don't screw this up.
Okay.
It's not as good as Oasis, but it's okay. But I think this could be one of our top 3 hits.
Zuckerman on the hunt for limbs his crown. Through shapes and shadows, the clue he's found. A mission burning, no turning back. The remnants of a black man, that's the track. Hit retriever is the quest you'll chase. Hit retriever is a hidden place. Hit retriever is in the disgrace. Hit retriever bringing truth to face.
All right, now we're in a guitar solo.
It's catchy.
Yeah. I'm still shocked why the Rivian doesn't want to have their CEO on the show.
I can't believe this. Okay, wait, there's more. Hold on.
He digs deeper into the lair. Secret moves, the Fuhrer's lair. Must be the echoes of wars past, determined stride.
Come on, sing it, everybody. Hitler's penis. Come on.
Hitler's penis. In a hidden place.
Hitler's penis.
I know I'm going to get my agent saying, "What is
Wow.
Spike's Car Radio? Why were you on it?"
That was the first Hitler's penis sing-along, I think, of many, and in a while.
Oh my god!
And welcome to Spike's Car Radio.
Wow,
That was fantastic. That went better than I thought it was.
that's good to be.
I
that
hadn't
guy.
planned for the sing-along, but and I hadn't planned on Sam being.
I mean, you know,
I feel like I'm going to be driving back to my hotel tonight going, Hitler's penis. In the convertible. That's going to be interesting.
It's a catchy little song, isn't it?
oh yeah,
Worryingly so. Have either of you been to Berlin?
many times.
So did you get the same vibe out of it? Because usually when you go to new cities, new places, obviously they have museums that showcase wonderful things from the country, their past, their history. Obviously there they have war museums, bunkers, and it's like, but it's slightly uncomfortable, right? Because it's like, oh, here is where we hid, and so I never quite knew what to do. Are you supposed to walk around going, wow, or are you supposed to walk around going, naughty, naughty? I didn't know what's the vibe.
Yeah, I think they're so modern that it's time is accelerated there. It's already the distant past.
Sure,
even though
okay,
it might be
fair.
fresh.
And any of that stuff is
others.
illegal, right? I thought you can't even can't have a
you
Nazi
can't have
flag
a swastika, but Berlin is like the Holocaust. Like every 10 feet, there's a Holocaust memorial. Like at this train station, this entire neighborhood went to Auschwitz. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
My thing, I remember the first time I went to Berlin, I was taking a train from like Amsterdam or something, and I was sitting there by myself thinking like, the last time a Jew was on a train heading to Berlin, it didn't end so well. Door opens up and it's like, Berlin Gay Pride Festival, Europe's largest gay pride festival. It's like literally a guy in, like rainbow Speedo, like doing the splits at the
See
train
how
station.
different we are?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, all right. What am I worried about?
Times have changed, I promise.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What a great start to the show.
Yeah. How are we going to top this?
And Zuckerman's not even here. He's back. I think he's in the air right now somewhere.
Wow.
Flying.
Hey, he's flight attendant.
He said, I'm not going to be right for about a week, so just go do the show. I go, that's how long it takes you to get over some jet lag? But anyways, we have lots of great. What are you doing here, Sam? By the way, I mean, it was a big surprise
on the show. I heard that Paul wasn't around, so I thought, hey, I'll fly in and just come on the show for a week. Why not?
I didn't know. When did you text me last night at 11 o'clock? Hey, I ran into Sam. He's in town.
This morning at like 6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m.
You
That's
really
right.
have lost all sense of time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been playing way too much tennis. Again, the wife is out of town. Like 4 hours today in 90-degree heat, you
Wow.
start to lose it. But yeah.
No, I looked at my phone. I woke up at like 5:30 this morning, looked at my phone, message from Sam, hey, I'm going up to Good Vibes.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm not going. And then I texted you and was like, hey, Sam's in town, because we were trying to get some other folks on the show tonight.
What?
Okay, hang on.
How many other people did you try?
Just one. Titus Welliver, the big movie star, who's in England filming right now. So
How selfish.
you guys have swapped places.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but so I said,
lucky
hey,
for
Sam's in town. Should I ask him? And you said, yeah. And then
Sure.
here
And
we
now
are.
Here you are. And why are you here?
I'm here because I have just driven from New York to LA. This is a big adventure I've been planning since the start of the year. Originally, I was going to do it in my GT3. And then I got the quote from the shipping company and realized that I'm really not as rich as I thought I was because I couldn't afford it or justify it.
North of 10 grand?
Easily. I mean, on a boat, which the thing about a boat as well is you have to give the car over to the shipment yard like 4 or 5 weeks before the boat even leaves.
Yeah.
So it's like, give us the car 2.5 months early, and then there and back is $20,000. And I was like, I don't think that's worth it. And I was having I work with this bank in Luxembourg. I actually invested some money. Look at me, I'm a baller.
Wow.
And we're having a meeting, just having their car guys, the proper car guys. And they said, why don't you just like fly to America and buy a car? And I was like, I think I should. And that's where the whole concept began. So that was back in January. And here I am now in the summer with a 2002 Boxster S, which I have bought and now driven here to California.
Wow.
So that's why I'm here.
I got really excited when I saw it coming in the driveway because you reminded me of
we
my
were talking. He just ran out.
early Boxster experience, which my Boxster S experience was a bad one because it led me out of my excitement about my original Boxster. So I was waiting years for this Boxster to be made, and Porsche finally makes it. I get a silver black one, and Jerry and I pick them up at the same time, and we have the most memorable drive from Long Beach back to the studio where we were working. And then, shortly after, they say, we're making an S. And I go, put me on that list.
Come on. Dude.
But, it was a better car. It's a great car.
It's such a good car. Go on. What's the but?
It wasn't the car I had been waiting for. It wasn't, I had waited my whole life. This was my first new car, and I stupidly traded that in for that one. And then, even though it drove better and it was black just like yours and I loved it, it wasn't as meaningful to me.
Right.
And it immediately kind of went out the door for a 993.
Yeah, you have that connection, right, when you're waiting that long.
Yeah. So I got excited when I saw that. I went, oh, shit, I used to own one of those.
Well,
I think it's a great car.
I had I reviewed early on in my auto journalism career. It was a 2005, so it was a 987, the next gen Boxster S. But up until then, I knew a lot about cars in terms of I could tell you the stats of a car. I hadn't driven a ton of press cars. A lot of like like Fords and Volvos and things of that nature. And that was like the first like really good car I drove. And I was like, whoa, like I didn't know cars could be this good.
It's such a simple recipe, right?
Yeah.
That's what's mind-blowing. I'd actually never driven a 986 or even a 987 Boxster before I bought this car.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had sort of faith and confidence, and it has absolutely blown me away. I mean, I went up to Angie's Crest this morning as we were discussing for Good Vibes, and I had an M2 and a GT4 on the way down. I was hustling them both.
Yeah,
hustling.
Nice.
And I think even the M2 guy at the end, he slowed down and gave me this big thumbs up because I think he was like this lunatic in the.
Is there anything you would do to it? Would you hype the motor a little bit just to?
I would love to send it to roof and put like a 3.8 in there, but I might just change the exhaust because it comes on song at like 6,000 RPM and then you're going for another gear, and the minute you drop sort of below 4,000, it's silent, which for the trip I've just done has been great. But if you want it as a canyon car, as a weekend car, as a non-daily, a little bit more noise. That's it. That is genuinely it.
Even those tires are okay?
Those tires are great. They're brand new Continentals.
Okay.
They've been fantastic. I mean, again, they were for a purpose. I've done 3,500 miles in essentially 7 days, so they just needed to last in all conditions, and they have. But I think it's 250 horsepower. It's like enough.
What's the plan?
That's the question. So the original plan was sell the car at the end of Pebble, Monterey Car Week, and be done with it and go, have I succeeded in my challenge to spend less than shipping my GT3 would have cost? But having just driven the car across the country, I'm like, I think I'm in love with it.
Wow.
Honestly, I assume the roofs are going to be at Car Week, so I'm just going to go endorse them and be like, hey, let's work together. So I don't know. I mean, at the moment, the plan is I'll sell the car. I don't need a car in America. I know I'm your de facto backup guest when everyone else.
I was going to say, you want to park it in Ferriston, Santa Monica hangar and just keep it here to use.
Maybe that's what I
feel
should
free.
Do. Hey, the world's my oyster at the moment.
There's lots of people besides Roof that can drop a motor in, because Roof, you might be in the 7-figure range with a 3.5-year wait. Okay. But there's other cats that'll.
What about a Gunther Works?
That would even be more and longer. No, but like
Supercharged
Damon,
4.2.
or what I mean. Like talk to Farrah, like the guys that did his.
Yeah, okay.
I think he did.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So Matt's going to look after the car, so I'm sort of moving all over the place. So the car's going to stay at, I always get it wrong, Westside Collector Car Storage.
Yeah, that's right.
Very well
Coast,
said.
Thank you. Bang on, Matt.
I was going to say West Collector.
Yeah, anyway. So it's going to stay there for a bit, and then at the end of Pebble, the plan is that he's going to help me part ways with it.
You go.
That's the plan.
Well, if you do need tires, Spike's Car Radio is the official podcast of his very special tire company called Vredestein.
Tell me more.
They are the official tire partner of our show, and we love them. And we could put you. Let's see. They have Quad-Track Pro Plus. They have the Ultrac Pro. They have the Grip Classic, the Pinza AT, which I think is on your Rivian.
Yep.
Right, Johnny?
I took it up Angeles Crest 2 weeks ago, and damn, those are good high-performance tires.
They've got a three-page ad here too. I think you would have the UU HP Ultrac Pro, their max performance summer tire, purpose built for drivers of sports cars. coupes and luxury vehicles looking for high-speed thrills, precise handling in both dry and wet environments. And no lie,
I had those.
because you're part of the Three-Timers Club.
We'll get you tires.
Vredestein will, if you decide to keep this, we'll get you a new set of tires.
Oh, there we go.
Completely, and they'll be put on for free.
And I had those tires on my Alfa Romeo Giulia, and not only are they great tires, they're summer tires that work in the rain, like work really well, better than all seasons, like really well in the rain. Because Vredestein started as a winter tire company, so they really know bad conditions well.
If
I
you
love Vredestein.
Oh, well.
Freddie.
Did you hear that? Say that again, Sam. I missed it.
One of our listeners sent me a Rolls like Leno's with Vredesteins on it.
Oh,
which I
nice.
thought was really cool with a decorative sidewall from Giorgetto. Is that what?
You first today, I think.
Yeah,
No.
that guy.
Giugiaro.
Giorgetto.
Yes.
They looked really cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you need tires, go to Vredestein.com and find a local dealer near you, and you'll get one. All right, we got lots to talk about. Lots and lots and lots. Hyundai Ioniq 5N. Johnny, Hyundai, freaking out. They're like, please, we've got 4 of these. We want you, Johnny, Zuckerman, and Jerry to drive them all in the same week.
Right.
And then you could do a show about them. And I said, okay.
2 out of 4.
How much are you paying us for all 4? No. We're just going to give you the car to use. Okay, then Zuckerman's out and Jerry's out. I'm not even going to bring it up.
Right.
But I'm sure Johnny wants to drive it, and I want to drive it, so
Yeah.
drop it off. You have it tonight.
do.
I just spent a week in it, and it is a fabulous, fun electric car in the most unexpected way.
It drives so well. I took it up Angeles Crest. I just got a Toyota GR Corolla. My buddy Schaefer, the photographer, was in town. Good driver, and shockingly well matched cars. Like they both,
Well, let's back up to just what it
yeah.
is, how much it costs, and how it works.
It's a high performance Ioniq 5. It has 641 horsepower.
641 for
641
about $60,000.
It's like 66, 67. But I mean, that's like more horsepower than like any AMG's ever had, except for one. It's a ton of power.
Fully charged is what, 220 miles?
It reads low, but I've been getting better. I think if you don't put it in sport mode and just kind of use it like a commuter, it actually will go further.
The modes are all over the place. It's an honest electric mileage for sure.
Yeah.
It's not like my Tesla.
No. But
it's actually every mile you feel like, okay, I did drive 10 miles and it went down 10 miles. There's an honesty to it.
And the steering is incredible. Like I said, on Angeles Crest, it was doing really, really
Great
well.
steering,
Considering it weighs 4,800 pounds, which, it's not light. It's not that heavy for what it is.
3 modes.
At least,
Well, there are 3 modes on the left thumb button on the steering wheel. There's 2 buttons down on the lower part that do,
and then there's a red button.
There's a 3rd countdown button. What is that?
That is, it's the NGB, so it's like N grin button or something like that.
And what does it do?
Not grin. You're joking.
No, I'm not joking. Yeah. Germans. I mean, even though it's Hyundai, Germans were behind it.
The grin
Get it?
button.
But it counts.
Grin sound.
We were in a parking garage and pressed it and it counted down. And I said, oh, well, let's see what happps. We might drive through a wall right now.
You get
but
10,
nothing.
You get like 10 or 15 seconds of like overboost where it gets full power.
But it's like the 0-60 is like what? Low, like
under
3.2?
Under 3. No, it's under 3. It's
Really?
Yeah, it's really quick.
It leaps off the road.
It's ridiculous. It's an ergonomic disaster in terms of setting it up. You really have to take a half hour and like, how does this work? And you go through like 5 menus and it could be done so much better. But once you figure it out, you have the 2 buttons. It's programmed. And I just set it up. I was like, give me sporty everything except for the suspension come off a bit and traction control off. And
That's the lower left button there. Everything lights up, traction control comes off, it stiffens up.
They're settable.
There are 2 custom settings on that lower button.
Right. You can do whatever you want. But
and nobody knows what it is.
No.
And it goes like hell. It goes like hell and handles well. Like I had a lot of fun at it. And then you have a button where it gives you a fake gas-powered car sound.
3 different fake car sounds.
This is what I wanted to ask about.
Yeah.
It does gas, and does it also simulate gear changes?
Yes, it does.
Gears.
So what is
By the
that
way,
like?
It's like having gears.
It's like having gears. It's just like it, but John, this is what I wanted to ask you. Are they doing that with different levels of brake regen to the stutter and the way the car moves forward? Because there's no way to tell that you're not shifting a gas-powered car.
Yeah, they literally interrupt the power delivery to make it feel like there's a gear. So it's actually slower having gears.
And it makes a funny sound. But listen. Just for fun, I decided to push the red line. Like, what's going to happen when I get up here? There's no red line in this thing. But they fake that, too. It over-revs. It goes, no, like that.
I put it in 7th in, like, at 10 miles an hour. Just
It was really funny.
Did you keep that on, though, or did you turn it off?
For me, it was about 30 seconds. A couple things. One is, I'm like, okay, they put in like a 7,200 RPM red line and it has a certain sound. And I said something on Instagram like, hey, if you're faking it, 15,000 RPM, and they're like, no. They want it to sound just like the Elantra N. And I'm like, ooh, the Elantra N! Like, finally! I've always wanted a fake Elantra N, So, like, if Porsche did it, Farrah brought this up, like, Porsche could have, like, the 917, 959. You could have a catalog of sounds.
Look, in an age of AI girlfriends and boyfriends where people are just fine with a computer, like, making love to them over their app, this is a lot of fun. Like, I was totally fine with the fake auto sound. Didn't care if you could hear it outside. It did what I needed it to do. And to answer your question, it's like you drive quietly, and then there's some idiot next to you in a BMW 3 Series, and you turn that on. You go bah, 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 and you have some fun.
And it does do like back pops and everything.
Yeah, really? It gurgles and burbles.
It's engaging,
but. I would also say underneath this car, there's a $45,000 Ioniq 5. So it's a $45,000 car stereo. So it's not coming through like a named audio Bentley 19 speaker.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
Sure.
I don't think it sounded that great. There's like a airplane noise and then like a synthesized.
There's a
jet
supersonic
fighter.
that's not so good, and then there's kind of a basic kind of.
I like
Tesla
the supersonic better than the Elantra N.
I didn't
personally.
like it.
But you know what I like the best? Turn them all off.
Yeah.
No fake fucking gears, and then you can hear the tires, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna understeer based on. Okay, cool.
Because I had the same. I don't think. Do you have the Abarth 500e here? Do you have the new electric?
It's coming. They're just arriving.
Okay, it's got the same thing. It's got the synthesized sound, and I ended up turning it off real quick.
Yeah,
because it wasn't that effective. And after a while, I was like, I'm in an electric car. I don't want to pretend like I'm in a combustion engine car. So I got rid of it.
There was a car, I think in 1905 or 6. It was called the Horsey Horseless, and what it was a car that had a horse head mounted on it, and the idea was when other horse-drawn buggies saw it, the horse wouldn't freak out because it would see a horse, and then you as the driver, you're used to driving a buggy, so you're looking at the back of a head, just like that's how I look at the fake gears and the fake engine. Is like in 5 years, people will be like, "Wait, you did what?" What?
It's just I would compare it to guitar amps. I was chatting with someone on the tennis court who's in music. He goes, there were these guys that were building tube amps and Ampeg and blah blah blah, and now you've just got that digitally, and it's just fine. It's just fine.
Do you remember pedal boards? Remember all those shots of guitarists with endless pedal boards?
I have that stuff. Yeah, Crybaby
I still have that too. Yeah.
Was.
Apparently now you don't need any of it.
No.
Yeah, I still like them.
Yeah, it's fun.
But my point is, the car really projects itself as fun. It's just fun. You don't take it too seriously, and it's a good time. There's some, the handling's very stiff. Here's what I would change.
You can change it up. You can change up the dampers.
But it still never gets to be a very, when you want a comfort mode, there's no comfort mode. It's a stiff ride. I would love it to get closer to 300 miles. And then there was this weird, I don't know if you've noticed this, but, and lots of SUVs have this where you get a lot of dust on the back of the vehicle just from driving. This one in particular gets really dirty on the back.
I haven't paid attention.
When you have to dust your car off, you go to the back, and there's a little on the rear, and this one was just sooty all the time. So whatever's happening with the aero, it's just grabbing a lot of dirt and throwing it on the back of the car, which weirdly bugged me a little bit. Other than that, I mean, those are small complaints.
And I think if you drove it around, you'd be like, damn, that's a good handling car, regardless of the powertrain or anything. And
okay, here's another one. So I drive some very heavy metal to the tennis court where I play tennis here. It's at a hotel up in the back. So they kind of, what do you got today? That type of thing. The valets came out for the Hyundai.
Interesting.
Yeah. Their previous car, the only one in the last 4 months maybe that they came out that we want to talk about, it was the 3RS in the garage.
Yeah, well.
But they came out for that, which surprised me. They said, "Is this the Hyundai
Yeah. No, this thing is getting
Ioniq 5N?" And I go, "For real? For real? You guys want to see this?" They're like, "No, this is a great car, man."
It's kind of like the moving goalposts of the electrification of the automobile. Like enthusiasts have been trained to hate EVs. The dam's going to break. This might be the car where everyone kind of collective unconsciously decided, okay, this one's all right.
But the thing is, are you buying an enthusiast EV? Like all of us sitting around this table, you would go buy it?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if I'd get. I bought one. I have a Rivian. In my mind, it's an enthusiast EV, but I like the Rivian R3X, and we should get into the tri-motor in a second. But when that comes out, because it's going to have the same propulsion system that the truck currently has, and instead of 641, 850 horsepower and 1,103 pound-feet of torque in something smaller than that, like. I'm buying it. I'm buying it day one.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a huge Rivian fan, huh?
No, I'm a huge product fan, and I love their I don't like if Rivian makes a bad car, I won't buy it. Like if they made a Macan, no interest.
Wow.
But if it's a good product, then I'll buy it.
Is there any chance they're going to rebrand as Porsche?
0.
Now that Porsche owns them?
They don't own them. It's a JV.
I just say this to push
I
his
can see you're
buttons.
pushing his buttons. And it's working so
It's
well.
also not
He
Porsche,
bites
it's
every time.
Volkswagen Group.
Yeah,
But
what is Porsche? I mean, we on my other podcast we had RJ on, the CEO this morning. So we talked all about that.
What did he have to say?
He had a lot to say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But maybe the new Rivian, we just won't know it because it'll be called the Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, what
Hey.
about that?
Because
Yeah.
the deal is the deal is for the electrical architecture, the ECUs, and the base software, not what you see, but the software that tells the thing how to run. We asked because we said, Scout, hey, Scout's coming out. Scout's making electric trucks and SUVs. You make electric trucks and SUVs. Why not just put Scout badges on a Rivian? And he was like, that's not happening. So
I'm having a module issue with my 3RS right now.
See?
The second issue. The first issue, now this car has 400 miles on it, and I love it to death.
Sure. It's
But
great.
the first
That's
issue,
the greatest car.
Remember, I couldn't back it out of my garage,
You pulled the shifter off.
and the shifter came off. Which is, of all the things, like if you ever had a dream where your penis falls off, like it's the worst dream, right? This is the worst car thing. Like the shifter just comes out, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not attached. But then Eric at Beverly Hills took care of it while I was standing there. He said, it's a little clip. It's just something that happens. Don't worry about it. The car's been sitting in the garage for a couple of weeks. I went to drive it yesterday, and I got a little thing that said, and this is apparently a common Porsche thing, the emergency call module is malfunctioning. So it just goes, take it in for service, which I won't do, but I texted everybody, and they said, well, drive it, and it should go off.
And it may not.
Just keep going.
And it may not, and then you have to bring it in and get a new module. But you remember, this car was one of those cars stuck on the docks, and they had to get that crazy
Special.
The thing that faulted is probably like a separate ECU that talks to a satellite.
Well, I love to go. Then I went on all the forums, and everybody had different fixes. One was press the emergency call, and then cancel it quickly, and that will reset it. I pressed the wrong button to cancel it, and it went through. And then I went, who am I fucking calling here? I don't even know who this is.
It's 911, by the way.
And it's not. Yeah. No,
Oh.
it's not.
Oh.
It's a Porsche emergency technician. It's like, hello, Porsche emergency services. What's your emergency? And I said, my module isn't working. It's an emergency because this is going to ruin my weekend. She goes, what? I go, never mind. And then I hung the phone up. But I was impressed that there's some Porsche lady who's taking emergency 911 calls. And then I did it and then canceled it, and then I left it there, locked it, did all the things. It's still malfunctioning.
So that's probably an ECU malfunction. That's probably like a chip that went bad. So with the Rivian, the reason Volkswagen is paying $5 billion for their architecture is they're removing ECUs. So on the Rivian trucks, they went from 17 in the first gen down to 7. And the less ECUs you have, the less. And it's probably that it's not a bad part. It's just like that is made by Johnson Controls or Bosch or whoever, and it's having a hard time talking to the Porsche brain. Mm-hmm. So now everything will be native.
Well, here's the thing. And then you know how I am. I was on the internet all night reading everybody's experience from Cayenne to Better. Everybody has
tried Hitler's penis.
And
It's Biden's
I would say
fault.
a full 75% of the people, at least anecdotally I read, said, it's weird. I drove it for a couple weeks and then it went away.
Just suddenly turned itself off.
So it's a software thing.
So yeah, you just drive it. I'm going to
And
just
it's
drive
not
it.
essential, right? I mean, let's...
No, but you turn it on and then it goes beep, like that, and you can, make it go away, but it's in your head in your perfect 400-mile 3RS,
That was
you know
real
what I'm
cheap.
saying.
That was real cheap.
That was real cheap.
Inexpensive.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I love that car.
No,
It's really
no. It shouldn't go bad is the point.
Let's talk about watches for a second.
Okay.
Specifically, Wrist Aficionado, our new sponsor.
We like them.
With stores in Beverly Hills and Miami, and some of the craziest, ultra limited, hard to find, modern production pieces from Patek, Audemars Piguet, Richard Mille, that $2.5 million watches on this site. You guys got to check out these guys, wristaficionado.com, and just sort to high price to low.
Yeah.
And you will see some shit.
Shop like Zuckerman.
You'll just see watches here.
Top 5.
You just go, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed. And, the watches in my price range are like page 7. Where you go, oh, okay.
Mine are
the-"
page 70.
But there's super cool stuff there. I have a watch for you, too. Look at this. This is our Spikes car radio.
You actually have one. 'Cause I thought
Sheffield.
you'd given mine away.
I had,
Okay.
and this is for someone else, but my other replacements are
Titus is
coming
the
Monday.
Sorry, Titus. Hey, you snooze, you lose, bro.
This is number 2, by the way.
Oh
Here
my
you
God,
go.
thank you so
Since
much.
you're in
That's
the
so
3-timers
exciting.
club.
Wow, that's great. I'm going to wear it for the rest of my trip.
You have one of these, Johnny, right?
I wore it
super
all weekend.
cool.
I was
You do.
I was up at Madonna Inn and many compliments. Like, what is that?
It's a fantastic color.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a home run. I love
Yeah.
that chrono. That's
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
Sheffield
This
chrono
is the
as
new
well.
Sheffield chrono.
Wow, it's super nice.
Super nice.
Yep.
If you're looking for a great watch, Wrist Aficionado is the place. And they also have that little bar at the top of this jewelry and handbags, like Birkin bags. So you know my theory. You get something for you, you get something for the wife. If you're a wife listening, you're buying a Birkin bag, you got to get a watch for the husband. That's how this works. That's how this works.
Just get a little GMT, when you get your handbag. Like, here, honey.
Wristaficionado.com or visit them in Miami, I believe New York, and Beverly Hills.
In the Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah, it's a cool joint and great stuff. You got to go to the site and just check it out because it'll blow your mind. There aren't many places like that on the internet.
Nice folks too.
Okay, Johnny, I have a lot of questions for you, weirdly. Both you guys. You guys are legitimate car journalists, unlike me. Imposter.
Definitely not me.
I thought I was. What was I? I was like a child molester in a trench coat, skulking.
Who said
in the
that?
back of, I don't know. What did you say?
were a big Yeti a moment ago.
Yeti.
I said Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
No,
In
you
an
said
overcoat.
something else. So you said.
Yeah, a mumbling Sasquatch.
No, I don't mumble. It was something you had to. Anyways, yes, legitimate.
I remember where I was looking up and I go, oh, there's that guy.
See, I feel the first
It was,
time.
and by the way, that made it even more sinister as you walked in after midnight. It's like, where has this guy been? That he's now just arriving here. We had been sitting there the whole time. There's, that's Johnny Lieberman. I go, what is he again? What? He's a car journalist. He's Motor Trend. All right, we'll keep him away from me.
Because I feel the first time I laid eyes on you, not on a TV show, was at that weird Lamborghini Meet the President dinner or lunch at the Polo Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
The president of Lamborghini?
It was when it was Domenicali, who then went on to be the president of F1. But when he was at Lamborghini, we had a lunch with him.
That's when I was really excited to do things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Now I run.
Fun.
yeah.
No, I'm traveling with Volvo. I know
Yeah.
you were going.
I
Matt
can't
Farrah's
go, yeah.
going, and Zach.
What are you doing with
Kaplan.
Volvo? That's cool.
We're going to be down at this hotel I like in Newport Beach, Pelican Hill. It's the EX30. They're launching that, and we're going to go hang with them.
Oh,
And
cool. Oh, that's fun.
For some reason, it's 3 days of launch stuff.
3 days.
3 days.
That's
But I have a great tennis coach down there.
okay.
They don't know about.
Sure.
Russell, plug
What
your
do they,
ears.
Can I be nosy? What do they expect of you from that?
Just a show, man.
Okay.
I show up.
just to be
I'll
there.
hang with Matt and
Yeah.
Zach and go for a drive. We'll talk about it like we're talking about it now.
Sure.
And then, maybe we'll do a show down there. I don't know. But we
That's
we were in New York for the
Yeah,
for the
the
preview of it,
EX30,
right?
yeah.
We're
But-
we're big fans of Volvo and we love them. So yeah, we want to go.
But
It's
I was just say the pro move though, when you've really been on the press car circuit for a while, the launch circuit,
Yeah.
you kind of blow off like a lunch or a dinner to go. I used to go to like play poker.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Where were you?" I was like, we drove by a casino and I just
Well, that's what the tennis is.
yeah, exactly.
I've got a great
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you do.
He's a great cook.
Because what are they going to do? Like,
It's a lifestyle.
I already told him. I go, this is going to be great. Why? I go, because I can play tennis. They go, well, you have to come to some stuff. I go, I know, but listen to what this guy's done for my forehand and my confidence.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's big in Sweden.
You can tell me not to come, but I'm going to do this.
This is what I'm going to do.
I'm going to do this.
It'll be interesting to see, how tolerant they are with that. 'Cause I'm going to dob in Porsche here a little bit because 992.2, I had a falling out with them because they sent the invite through to go and do the drive you did. I think it was in Spain in the end.
It sure was.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't quite do the dates. I was doing something during the day that we were supposed to fly. And then it was the day after. And I said, look, I would love to be there, but I'm going to have to get a very late flight. And they were like, great, no problem. You're going to share a car. I said, okay, no worries. Just let me know who I'm sharing a car with. Long story short, it got a bit complicated with the sharing of the car. And they said, we've booked you a flight for 11 a.m. on the Tuesday. And I went, oh, guys, no. Remember what I said? I can't fly till like 9 p.m. Here's the flight I'd like. Can I take this? The reply was, for this event, we expect all guests to do all the activities.
Whoa.
And I went, cool. Like, oh, I misunderstood. So what are the activities on the Tuesday? She goes, it is a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, cool, but like, I'm good. Like, I can eat at the airport. I don't need to have the dinner. They go, no, you must come to the dinner.
You know what it was? They had the chief, I forget his name, chief of 9/11 gives a little 40-minute presentation.
Well, that sounds fascinating. Sorry,
I mean,
that's the bit I probably
no
looked to skip
comment,
on.
Sam. No comment.
Is everybody done with the shrimps? I would like to say some words about the 9/11.
For a very short presentation.
I mean, it's basically, once again, Porsche has perfected perfection. Dynamism is up 11.2%. Emotionalism is through the roof at 9.4%. It's just that.
They're tough, those presentations are tough.
I read
This
their
was-
profit reports from this year. I don't even know why they're flying anybody anywhere. They're doing just fine. The billions and billions of dollars they're raking in.
Because when they said we're going hybrid, like, everyone's knee-jerk reaction is
That's
they've
true.
ruined it. And that
Yeah.
was a presentation. And this is something I've been saying for 10 years, but he said, in 1963 when we showed the 901 at the Geneva Motor Show, the press reaction was, too fat, backseat, you've destroyed the brand. Porsche's done. So
Wow.
and so you
figure it out.
when you drive the hybrid, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is great.
I'm excited to do so, and it's probably unfair for me to give them a really hard time, but it's the first time ever manufacturer has forced me to have dinner, and said if I don't have the dinner, I'm not allowed to attend the
Tried
event.
to force you. You stood up to them.
Yeah, I did.
Those
I did.
bastards.
Come
I said,
to the
I
dinner.
will eat at home and watch the content in
Just
3
get a
weeks'
sandwich
time.
in there and some beef and cheese. You sell that right in the 7-Eleven. No, you must come.
You must eat
Please
the dinner.
come to the dinner.
I will say the dinner the second night was so good. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like
I think the event looked
Spain.
amazing. I would have
It was
loved
good.
to have been there. Like, that looked dreamy, but
It was great, but that dinner the second night
Okay.
was like a real restaurant, like Michelin involved restaurant, and it was good.
so us automotive journalists will talk now. It's a good event.
that was some shrimp, let me tell you.
They always are fun.
Mm-hmm.
The few that I've gone on have always been. I went to La Quinta Tennis Resort with Land Rover for obvious reasons.
Sensing a theme here.
Spike, there's
And it was during the pandemic. It was great. It was so much fun. They're like, look, we can't have a lot of people here. I go, even better. Though it's just going to be me and another guy and you. Fantastic. That's right. And it was really fun. I really had a nice time, and I'm sure I'm going to have a nice time with Volvo.
Oh, yeah.
I like that whole crew, and
Yeah.
I like the
Oh,
cars.
Russell's great. Yeah,
it's
they're
going
all
to be
great.
good.
well, you said you had questions for us.
Yes, here we go. That was a while ago.
Nervous
Now look
now.
at that tangent we went on. Okay, one. What is all the hubbub over the Corvette? What is this
Yeah.
Corvette that's everywhere on
Yeah.
social media right now? Is it the
Okay.
ZR1?
ZR1, the new ZR1.
And am I right that Corvette said, screw it, no hybrids for us. We're just going to make a gas-burning Dragon that has 1,000+ horsepower.
Not quite, because they have a hybrid that you drove.
No, I know.
And there's going to be something called the Zora, which is going to be, this is the LT7 motor, so it'll be LT7 with the hybrid.
So what is all the hype over this, aside from the horsepower?
They have two turbochargers strapped to the back of a 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8 that makes 1,064 horsepower and 828 pound-feet of torque, rear drive only.
And gets up to 200 miles an hour, apparently.
In a
without-
heartbeat, yeah.
In a heartbeat, and smoothly.
Yeah.
I watched someone do a run to 200. I went, wow.
It was 205. Yeah, I mean, look, if you I've driven the Pagani Roadster BC, and that's 850 pound-feet of torque just to the rear wheels, and like almost undrivable, but drivable. I've driven the Koenigsegg Agara RS XS, which is 1,350 horsepower just to the rear wheels. It works. So this splits the difference. But it's probably going to be $150,000. That's the real magic of it.
So what does it compete with? What's its...
I mean, GT2 RS, the eventual GT2 RS.
But it's I mean, that's a lot of money, but it's not a lot
Right.
of money when you're talking about even what I have in the garage.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I think they haven't announced a price. Look, GM, while they will surprise you with a horsepower number, the C8 is $70,000. The Z06 is $110,000. The Z01 will be $150,000. It's not rocket science, right? I think they might actually be making a mistake because people that buy GT3 RSs will say, "Why is it so cheap? There must be something wrong with it." When there's probably nothing wrong.
I don't feel that way at all. I mean, a car that goes to 200 and what's the 0 to 60 on it?
It'll be like 2.5. It's rear drive only, so it'll.
That gets your attention actually. That you're getting something.
Look, the 60 to 120 is where it's going to be awesome because you're going to have full traction. You won't have any torque limiting in the lower gears, and like 1,000 horsepower just to the rear wheels is awesome. Actually, the coolest stat. So the turbos are so potent that at full spin, 20 psi of pressure, there's 37 pounds of thrust pushing the car out of the exhaust pipes.
Whoa.
And I mean, it's a car you can drive in the rest of America, right? So
Yeah.
I was just in Vermont visiting my son at camp there, and the next morning I open the shades and I'm kind of near an intersection. I'm watching the cars go by. There's no 911s. You know what there were? There were guys on Harleys everywhere. There were cheap little cars, and weirdly there were 2 Cybertrucks. But they're and then Corvettes.
Yeah,
and you go,
yeah.
if you want to drive a sports car and you don't really want to bother folks, or you feel a little insecure about it, that's what you would get. And
This will bother folks. This will be.
no, it won't. No, you accept
gonna be
all
so
American
loud.
muscle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you're so... I mean, genuinely, this last week, I don't know how many states I crossed through. I saw 3 supercars, and I must have seen 400 C8 Corvettes.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
they are...
Yeah.
It's America's
in every
car.
single
Yeah,
state,
America's
they are
sports car.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
the car you
celebrated.
get.
So if this is the 1,000 horsepower one, surely people are
Yeah,
gonna
if
freak
I'm
out.
living in Vermont on Lake Champlain, I'm getting that Corvette for sure.
Spike, I would love to see you living in Vermont.
Why? I grew up near there.
No, I know. Just now, though.
I couldn't last anymore. It would be bad.
What's the Vermont thing? How would you sum up
syrup.
Vermont?
Vermont is beautiful.
It is gorgeous,
but it was summertime, like in the winter. My son was like, "Oh, what are all those signs that say no parking cars on the road?" Because it's fucking snow and ice for like 10 months, and the snowplow will push your car off the road, and you'll kill yourself in your bathroom with a buzzy light bulb. It's rough. You've got to be mentally prepared for Vermont. But
and you can't get out of Vermont. There's no roads in or out. It's like the most isolated.
we were
place to
flying
get
in on that crowd strike, whatever that thing was.
Nice,
So
yeah.
it was weirdly the flights were fine, but in the airports, like we went through Chicago and had to switch. You know that little they have the little desk when you have to get your flight rerouted.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Customer service.
Yeah.
It was the entire length of the C column, whatever that was.
Right. The terminal. The whole terminal.
The whole terminal was
Yeah.
a line, and people were just in psychic pain. It was hard, and then shoulder to shoulder everywhere, including the plane, the entire weekend. And I just went, I'm getting COVID. I'll be sick, but weirdly did not. But it was a wild thing to behold. Wild, really fun to take a look at.
Last note on the ZR1. So apparently, I just heard this. I have a good source in Detroit, and he said that Chevy's plan was to do 850 horsepower. So the Z06 makes 670. The regular C8 makes 485, so go from 670 to 850. And then when Ford announced the GTD at Pebble last year, they were like, well, we can't have 850 if the Mustang's going to have 850, like crank it up. And so they got to 1,064. It was like, some reliability. And then remember, the Zora is going to be over 1,200 horsepower.
That's a good name, though.
Yeah.
The Zora.
Well, that was Zora Arkastuntov was the father of the Corvette.
Second part's harder, but the Zora part's great.
Yeah.
The Zora.
Yeah, but
I
they
love that,
patented
Zora.
the name Zora back in 2014 when we first heard they're doing the mid-engine.
Okay.
And so that's coming. And more breaking news. Grand Sport Corvette's coming. So that's you take a Z06 and you put the regular engine in it, and it's like 85,000 instead of 70,000. But you get the Z06 handling and still plenty of power. Not the 670, but 45 horsepower.
Is it often the one to have? Is that like the GTS, or is that?
It is kind of their GTS. And like in the last gen, the C7 wasn't a good generation for Corvette, but the Grand Sport was great. It was just dialed and it worked. So just found out. And there's two more, and I didn't know what they are. There's two more Corvettes after those two coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're full of breaking news.
You want more? I got more.
What do you got? Yeah, go ahead. You're a fire hose tonight.
Subaru is bringing the STI back.
Wow.
Subaru's bringing it back. They're going to use the 2.4 liter that's in the WRX, and it's going to make a lot of power.
Where did you get that info?
From a source, from a good source that I trust.
Unlike the
Facebook
Quail Porsche
The
sources.
Quail was a bad source. Joe, you're a bad source.
So the STI comes back.
STI is going to come back. They decided they're going to bring it back. The original plan was to be like 405 horsepower. This is right before they canceled plans for it. So maybe it'll be that. But I think like seeing what happened with Toyota and the GR Corolla is like, we're just walking away from something we owned for 2 decades. They were the only game in town for, like a rally style, big horsepower, hatchback manual, all-wheel drive thing. And so STI is happening.
Wow.
Don't know when, but STI is going to happen.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Do people ever leak info to you?
No, they
You don't strike me as a guy that would even indulge in that. You're too honest in some ways. You know what I'm saying?
I sent you a text 10 days or so ago, which I wouldn't repeat because I feel too loyal to my source to repeat on air.
You want more? I got more.
This guy's just like,
you want more?
I don't even remember this text. You did? Did you?
Text like 4 or 5 days ago.
And what did you say in it? I'm looking at it.
You can read it. It's up to you whether you read it out loud.
No, I love the picture of the car upside down in the crest.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Crash Vibes Club is what they should call that. Look, this is the picture he sent me.
That was death
who was
today.
that? Who
I
was
would say that was pancaked is the expression I would use.
What's the car?
It was a 3 Series convertible that had quad pipes, but genuinely it was... How anyone walked away from that, I don't know.
Oh, they walked away.
Well, I don't know. So I was coming up at a fair rate of knots, and I had all the cameras running, and I saw the car pancaked, and I was like, okay, well, that obviously happened at some point. And as I went past it, I sort of saw that the hazards were on. I thought, well, that's kind of fresh-ish. And then I noticed someone was sitting on the car. So I was like, what the heck? So I went up and I turned around. By the time I came down, somebody was stopped by the car, and it looked like a young dude jumped off and like got in the passenger seat and they drove off, and I was like,
wow,
well, this whole thing's weird. And by the time I left Good Vibes, the cops were there and they were loading on a
welcome to Good
flatbed.
Vibes, because I've had 2 cars roll over in front of me on the way up and down from Good Vibes. It's scary. Yeah,
super
kids.
scary.
It's always kids.
This guy looked young. That's the only thing I would say.
It was a Toyota 86. It was an 18-year-old, and then it was a Mustang. It was a 20-year-old. Both times.
Good vibe.
Yeah.
This was bad.
But you want more
Bad vibe. I remember that. I just reread the text. Yeah, that's good. But you're just kind of double confirming something we said on the show.
Okay, fine. So that's cool. But I just people look at me, and because we do the podcast with Tony, and they definitely don't trust Tony. They're just like, we got in big trouble the other day with Ferrari. But anyway,
you want
going.
more? I got one more.
Yeah. Come on.
All right,
we got nothing but time.
So the mule for the ZR1 had a supercharged V8 in it, which is like Cadillac still makes a supercharged V8. And in the Blackwing and the Escalade V, it's 680 horsepower. There's a Corvette Mule right now with 850 horsepower motor in it, which is going to be, they're going to do a final edition Cadillac CT5V Blackwing that goes from 680 to 850 horsepower. Wow. And that's coming.
I like the Blackwing.
You're like the auto spy tonight.
I am the auto spy.
Wow.
No, I'm not. That guy's horrible. There actually is a guy.
I know. Now you're him.
Stop it, Spike.
You're the new auto spy.
No.
This is hilarious. I
Yeah.
love this. You got lots of good information.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Fantastic. We've broken some major news on this
It's
show.
actually big news. Yeah.
Have you got some spy shots from PCH from the car's testing?
I mean, you could if you
right?
wanted to. Yeah. Actually, Angeles Crest is even better because they do all sorts of elevation fuel economy testing on Angeles Crest.
Okay.
And the engineers like to drive, so they can have some fun while they're
Sure.
doing cruise control at 55 miles an hour for an hour.
Well, today's episode is sponsored in part by BetterHelp. BetterHelp. You know BetterHelp, right?
Of course.
Of course you know BetterHelp.
Come on, Spike.
Do you compare your life to others?
sometimes.
You know, when we compare, we despair. Does social media play a part in that? What do you do when you get caught up on wishing your life looked like someone else's? You know what? It's a thief of joy. It's easy to envy other people's lives. It might look like they have it all together on their Instagram, like Johnny and Sam. But in reality, these guys are messes.
We wish we were in Berlin.
They don't. And therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Don't ask for Blue Chew. That's a different sponsor. So stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Spike911 today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Spike911. Let's see, what does it say? And get on your way to being your best self. BetterHelp. So much better than going and sitting on the couch, that's for sure.
No, it depends on the couch.
What's that?
Depends on the couch.
No, the facing away and the sitting there.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to therapy?
I went to Zuckerman's therapist.
Wow.
I'm going to write a book one day.
So you took his Hey,
Yes.
you've met me.
Yeah.
I wasn't always like this. Someone helped me get here.
Yeah, and I said, I need that. And, honestly, huge help. Huge help. Strict Freudian, as you might imagine.
Oh, man.
It was great. Very helpful.
I'm a big fan of therapy. It can help you get through so much stuff. And if not, even the simplest things, just, your parents, maybe if you're lucky, they got 75% of what they told you right.
Yeah.
And so you got to work through that 25. And then everything's fine.
Yeah.
You feel great.
It was a
You
little
feel
tune-up.
relaxed. It's
Little
like a
tune-up.
massage. Little tune-up.
This was great because everything no matter what I said, she'd be like, "Let's talk about your mother."
Really?
Yeah, no matter what. It was great.
Well, it is.
Strict
It's
Freudian.
always
It was
the
awesome.
parents.
Yeah.
Interesting thing on my side is my mum's a psychotherapist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that
Wow.
means lunchtime is often.
Well, she did a
full
fine
of deep
job with you.
conversations.
You're
She
a
don't know me
very
that well.
happy guy. You're a very happy guy.
I cry on the way home. It's fine.
You're always very positive and upbeat and happy. Are there moments where you're just like, oh, God damn it, I
So
can't.
many moments.
Are you faking it right now?
It's so fake. I genuinely hate life. What am I doing here?
How's the free watch treating
I
you?
should be in London at Titus, but the free watch. No, it's.
Titus.
I guess she did a good job, I suppose.
All right, there's a lot of stuff to talk about in the news here as we're winding down here, but few stories that really entertained me, and I think you could probably comment on the number one states for road rage in the U.S.
Ooh, number one.
Let's do the top three. There's a long list.
It's got to
but
be Florida.
It's not in the top three.
New York.
Not in the top three.
Whoa.
Where you're from, Massachusetts.
You would think.
I do think.
I would back that up, but no,
bullshit.
it is not.
It's got to be. It's. I mean, I've driven in Boston.
And this is the first time the state has been number one, and you're sitting in it right now.
California.
California.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm very angry at all times when
Makes sense,
driving.
yeah.
In terms of road rage, according to Forbes advisor study ranking the United States with the most confrontational drivers, and I mean every drive I take, either I'm raging or someone's raging at me. Every single drive, doesn't matter how short, how long, people are freaking out here. California has the most confrontational drivers in the country.
Woo! Number one, baby.
A high percentage of drivers experiencing some type of road rage. Either they witness it, either they are being cut off, they are cursed at, or they are being tailgated. I mean, come on, it is every drive that happens.
I mean, I'm doing the cursing and the tailgating and I just start honking at people now.
Did you notice any of this when you were driving across the country?
Yeah, probably. And now you say it, because obviously when I get to California, I'm like looking out, I got the roof down, I'm like, oh, beautiful. I get honked here. I've noticed I've got honked here more than anywhere else on the trip.
For doing what?
That was
But
me.
just like,
But what were you doing?
I don't know, like slow off the line, like when the lights go green, I'm just,
Were you looking at your phone?
No, I'm looking at the sights because it's freaking California.
So the light, yeah, we'll see. We
it's the
get
summer.
really upset because most people are on their phone. So if you don't take off right away at green, you're on your phone, we assume.
Oh, okay. Well, no, but I got the roof down. I'm very evidently looking at the people walking past.
So you get beeped at.
So I get beeped at.
Yeah, that's road rage.
I've been doing a lot of beeping this week. A lot of beeping.
I'm trying to think. I got we call it undercut, like overtaken on the inside. Like I got
Yeah.
that a few places, like aggressively.
Yeah.
That was me.
Where was
I've been
that?
doing a lot of that.
Oh, Nebraska. Nebraska was weird because it was like empty and really boring.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone was just like in a hurry.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of that, and a sort of weird, cheap-looking cars just carving through traffic.
Yeah.
That was odd
Yeah.
in Nebraska. I think apart from that, everyone was fairly well behaved.
Number 1 is California. Number 2, Missouri.
What?
And number 3, Utah.
Utah.
BS. I'll maybe accept California, but Utah?
Does it have the most chilled? Does it have the like most?
Angry,
It does. It does.
Angry Mormons?
Take a guess. It's obvious. They smoke
Hawaii.
a lot of weed. Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, there's nowhere to go.
You're
And
fine.
there- and
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's like
Here are the top reasons for either participating or witnessing. Another driver was driving badly, like you, Sam. 40%. That was the number 1. Another driver was driving aggressively, so they would rage at them. A driver cut them off. I was already feeling stressed. Was a full 30%.
oh, that's California. Yeah,
And another driver was tailgating me. But if someone's tailgating you, it's because you're driving too slowly.
yeah.
That's the only way we can message, like, move to the right.
I've started left turn signal, full horn, full tailgate. I can't take it. It's reached critical.
Right.
Like there was this. I was at a thing. It was like a left turn, and it was like you got to go. It's a stop. You have a stop sign. They don't have stop signs. You got to go. And there was a huge hole, and I could see it. And the person in front of me didn't go. And I just laid on the horn until she went, and she turned around and was like all mad at me. And I'm like, go, just fucking go. I'm in a hurry.
Yep. Here, they also broke it down this way. 36% of drivers reported experiencing road rage most frequently on freeways or highways, while 27% encountered aggressive drivers on city streets. Other hotspots for road rage included intersections, parking lots, and rural roads.
Yeah, Trader Joe's is probably 50% of the parking lot.
And 33% say they saw truck drivers exhibiting road rage. Well, I mean, look at the country's got it's a fair share of morons. You're driving 2 tons, and who actually studies driving after 16 other than guys like us?
Yeah, us. That's it.
Do you get rage guilt though? Do you ever like, yeah, and then you go past and it's like a 75-year-old granny?
Yes.
Or...
I don't get guilt, but I go, that checks out.
Yeah.
I can see there's something physically wrong with that driver.
Saw, a while ago, and it happens a lot. The second, and I would never get out of a car. But I've seen a lot lately, a guy getting out of the car, walking up to a window and getting a gun and taking a bullet in the face. Yeah, it's bad.
I had a guy try to get out of a car today with me.
Yeah.
It was like...
Get out. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Actually, in the UK, it happens post-crash. I don't think people get out of the car too much in the UK, but post-crash, there's like, oh, what were you doing, mate? There's a lot of that.
No, here we just start like, insurance.
People want to, you're feeling like, you have this moment like, I want to fight. This will be good.
Yeah,
I want to relieve a little anger by hitting someone.
Yeah, that's where
it's
you
never
go
a good
to.
idea.
Yeah.
My hack is just keep your eyes forward. If you can activate somebody's road rage by looking, if you do this, that's it. They're going to turn and go,
You don't acknowledge it. Just don't acknowledge
even
it.
if you've done something, just look straight ahead. And if they're looking at you, just go, sorry. Just raise your hand and go, sorry. And then people generally go, it's okay. It's fine. But if you turn, the one that gets me really upset is when somebody cuts me off. I beep like, hey, watch out. And they turn around and they stop and they go, fuck you.
Then you're like,
that one I go, this is really hard. You're making it really hard not to do something right now.
But the only thing I feel guilty about is when my kid is in the car and I'm like, hey, you fucking idiot. And then I hear my kid playing Minecraft like, you fucking idiot. Like,
look, I've read that psychologists have said, maybe not your BetterHelp psychologist, they have said that if you're yelling something in your car and the person can't hear it, it actually can relieve the anger a little bit. Just don't look at them. Just say it. Just feel it. Just yell it.
My real trick is I middle finger below where they can't see it.
Yeah,
I'm just
cool.
constantly like
when
hitting
you're at
middle
school
fingers.
and you're giving middle fingers to the police, you're like,
exactly.
badass. They
I
can't
do
see
that
me.
like 50% of the time.
Yeah. I pretend to sing a song. You're a bloody idiot. I hate you. Because it looks like I'm just singing to the radio. But taking out some of the stuff.
That's good.
That's my tactic anyway.
Our friend from Striking Distance Video Game Studios, Steve P., messaged me and said, when are you guys going to reboot your Blip Shift portfolio of shirts? And I said, Steve, thank you for reminding me of that. It's been 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Since
Really?
I've even thought about this, and we have 3 new shirts.
Nice.
We're rebooting the original Blaupunkt radio dial that says Zuckerman and Spike, and now has your initials on it. It
Get
says
out.
we took the FME on the side of it, and it says, I think, Seinfeld. It says SLF, Seinfeld, Farrah, Lieberman.
Nice.
So that's going to be reboot today. It's on sale today for a short time, only 7 days. The new, what we're calling the GTZ, which is the Plan Z shirt, if you recall, cut in half, the 3-way GT2 RS. We did one for our GT3 RS. That's an awesome shirt. That's up there now. And then the third one, I don't remember what it is.
Awesome.
But there
best
are
one, though.
3. There are 3 of them. Oh, the steering wheel shirt. The original, one of the very first ones we did. 3 steering wheels with a new steering wheel on the very right, the GT3 RS steering wheel. So I believe it's got a 550, it's got a 911 steering wheel, and now it's got the GT3 RS steering wheel. All for sale now at blipshift.com for a short time only. Hoodies. Hoodies is what my kids are requesting. But Steve, thank you for reminding me of that. I totally forgot about Blip Shift and these cool shirts, and that you could reboot them.
I think we still have Zuckerman heads on sale too.
Yeah, they sent me a link. There's a lot of stuff for sale there. You've been very busy selling stuff.
I haven't. They just never take it down.
you
No,
before
they
you
never
got
take it
Corona,
down.
yeah.
So the stickers, all that stuff stays for sale.
It used to go away, and then when I looked at the new stickers, like there was a bunch of old stuff, including the illegal T-shirt. I think it's still for sale.
The illegal T-shirt.
I think.
Jerry just gave up.
Speaking of Jerry, did he ever tell you what happened after we went for smoothies that last time I was here?
No, you
He
and
never
I
told
and
you?
Jerry were hanging out. You had to go to the airport.
I was also there.
We were going to go to Malibu. You were there. And it's
difficult.
I don't remember you. You weren't in the overcoat.
I did a post,
But you're right. You were there.
post afterwards, and Johnny was like, "Hey, what about me, bitch?"
Yeah, that's right. And we
I
went.
did say that.
Yeah.
And we went to what I call White People Town in the Palisades, that weird mall, and we all had shakes that were branded after, who was it again? The
Hailey
Taylor-
Bieber.
The Hailey
I don't
Bieber
forget.
shake.
Well,
But
Yeah.
real quick, the funny part was we were going to get coffee, and I was like, hey, there's an Erewhon in White Peopleville, and I was like, we got to get Sam a $40 protein shake. Like,
Sam bought us the shake,
no, I know.
as I recall.
But you
Yeah,
can't
it's
go
ridiculous.
to LA without
Yes.
getting powdered sea moss and,
It was
mushroom
yeah.
jelly.
That CMOS was right up in my business. But
What
I
happened?
can't believe he never told you this. So I had to get to the airport. So he said, "Okay, cool. I'll take you back to the hangar where I'd left my car," and off we go. So we jumped back into the Speedster, wasn't it? That he
59, yeah.
Yeah. And so we get down to PCH, and he opens it up a little bit. Now, look, that car, I mean, it's not a 1,000 horsepower ZR1, but it picks up some speed. And then suddenly, whop, 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 whop.
You guys got pulled over in the 4Cam?
Yes. A cop pulls us over.
Wow.
So we jump out of the car. Initially, the cop doesn't recognize Jerry. He goes, "You're going a little fast there. I pulled you over. We're doing a zero tolerance day." And Jerry points at me and goes, "He's a very famous YouTuber from the UK." I think I was trying to show off. I'm like, "Is Jerry Seinfeld trying to blame this on me to a cop?"
Yes.
So then the guy asks for the license and registration. He looks down. He goes, "No way. No way, Mr. Seinfeld. Oh my God." Oh, he starts freaking out. And he goes, "Well, look, just take a seat back in the car and I'll be with you in a second." So we sit back down, and I said to Jerry in a hushed voice, I said, "Look, I can't imagine what your life is like, but I feel like maybe I just got a little insight. Is this what usually happens?" And he goes, "Well, usually they see the license and they go, 'Don't do it again, off you go.'" He said, "I'm a little concerned that he's told us to sit back
Oh,
in the
I
car."
hope this ends with a ticket.
So that we're waiting and we're talking, and I'm trying to make small talk, but I could tell that Joey's like a little bit nervous. Like,
Yeah, no, he always gets let off. We've been pulled over together, and I get the ticket, and he walks, and I go, "What the fuck is that?"
So he's, and I'm trying to like just chat, and he's obviously not. And the cop comes back and goes, "Look, I'm really sorry, Mr. Seinfeld. I've been a fan since I was a kid, but I have to give you a ticket."
What a dick.
And so he gives the ticket.
Oh, this is
I
great.
said,
No
obviously,
wonder he didn't tell
you're
me.
not that big a fan because he didn't recognize him. But anyway, gives the ticket, and I go, "Oh my God." And Joey goes, "Well, here we go, Sam. That's the first time I've ever got a speeding ticket in my entire life."
Wow.
And so initially I'm like, what a claim to
Sam, that's
fame
you're a
I've
piece of
got.
history now.
And then Tony, who I do my podcast with, made a good point. He goes, "No, the first and only time Jerry Seinfeld's got a ticket, you were in the car. You're never getting that invite back. Like,
You're the bad omen.
I'm the bad omen. So Jerry got a ticket that day. I can't believe he didn't tell you.
That's awesome.
Well, of course he didn't tell me.
That's fantastic.
Of course he didn't tell me.
I did actually seek his permission to tell that story on my podcast, so I'm sorry, Joe, that I've now repeated it again.
Oh, that's
great.
fabulous. That is such a good
makes
story.
me so happy. That's
It was a
justice.
memorable day.
There is justice in the
Well,
world.
it was Zero Tolerance Day. It was Zero Tolerance Day. But honestly, I've witnessed upwards of 10 where they go, "See you later.
Yeah.
Thanks for the laughs,
Yeah.
Mr. First. Could you just stay there for 1 minute? This is Jerry's 73 RS Lightweight. Yeah. Mr. Seinfeld, you can go. You car matchmaker guy, stay there.
No soup for you. That was me.
I wrote the little kicks. The lady does the funny dance. Yeah. License and registration.
I think that's why he tried to start blaming me. Maybe that's his tactic. He's like, distract from me. This is a YouTube.
What's so
guy.
funny though is I was right behind you guys as we were going. I'm sure you noticed some of it, but the amount of human beings going, "That's Jerry Seinfeld," was like 100%.
Yeah. And by the way, he's usually a very, very safe driver. Like, he does not race around.
We were
and
just
As
driving.
I say, this was not fast because the car's also not 1,000 horse. Like if we were going above the limit,
right.
we were going 5 miles.
if you
above
go
the
over
limit.
50, I know exactly where you were. They're going to give you a ticket
It
right
was
there.
pure.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were barely moving faster than the traffic, but we were moving faster
Right,
than
right.
the traffic. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Amazing story.
That's a very
It was
happy
an amazing.
story.
Well, that whole day was amazing, but that was really a peak.
Well, there you go.
And thank you for the smoothie. That was
Hey,
So
I'm
we're
gonna
going
get
to see,
another one.
what are your plans up at Pebble? We're, of course, doing our show. It's sold out. I've heard they might add 20 or 30 more tickets, but they haven't done so yet. It's Saturday.
That's
If
on
you're
the
not doing
Saturday.
anything, come by.
Hey, I'll
hang
swing
out
by and stand on the side and listen. to
anytime. But what are you doing? You're going to be up there
I'm
car
going
week?
up early because I'm doing Quail Rally, which is actually right at the beginning of the week. So that's on the Tuesday and the Wednesday. Then I'm hanging out, obviously, Quail on the Friday. And then my weekend plans, I'm not entirely sure yet because I don't love Pebble itself.
Right.
So I usually skip the actual Pebble, but otherwise I'm around.
I
So
feel like I've already eaten by the time Sunday morning comes along, right?
Yeah.
Just like with some more food, and I'm like, well.
And I love
But that's good. We'll see you at the Quail.
Yes.
Zuckerman's going to be there. Johnny, you're going to be
oh
there
yeah,
too.
I'll be there.
Amazing.
I
We'll
love Sunday. The lawn is that's
Yeah.
my
That's your thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the Friday guy.
Okay,
The
yeah,
Quail for
I
me
like
is
the Quail
one.
for about an hour, then it's like I gotta get out of here.
Oh, fair. That's weird. That's how I feel about Pebble. That's so strange.
There's some good parties. There's a Bentley party. There's a Mercedes party I was just
I
invited to.
just
There's the
RSVP'd Mercedes.
Porsche always forgets to invite me to their party on Friday night.
Who
But
were
Go to
you
the
again?
dinner. Don't forget to
You
go
wrote
to
for
the
what
dinner.
he does not show up for the dinner, so he does not come to party. Yeah, but I think we went to Mercedes last week. They're giving us a car to drive around up there, which is going to be cool. And
I got I'm driving up in the Z4 manual, the new one. Yeah, I just got it today.
When do you go up?
I'm gonna drive up the Wednesday.
Cool. Okay.
And then I'll come home on the Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm going with BMW, and it's going to be a blast. So
there you go.
yeah.
Well, there's our show, and I have the perfect song to play us out. A little song
You should write
written a few moments ago.
You should write an artificial intelligence. Have you done this? A Jerry got a ticket?
Oh, that'll be the next one.
Okay,
But
okay.
for now, enjoy the musical stylings of Udio and Spike Ferriston.
It's a question chase. It's a hidden place. Ending the disgrace. Bringing truth to face. He digs deeper into the lair. Secret moves, the fury's lair. Must be the echoes of wars past. Determined stride, heroes class. It's a question chase. In a hidden place. Ending the disgrace. Bringing truth to face.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio. Listen to new episodes every Wednesday and be sure to subscribe. Now, I'm gonna take a nap.